Debt collection litigation is corrupt. You don't get a clean shake from dirty hands. Brought to you by yourlegallegup.com, your advantage if you're being sued by debt collectors. In this video, we take a quick look at the whole debt law world. We conclude it is corrupt. But this is not an argument that you should give up. Instead, it means that you're going to have to do more and work harder to protect yourself. Why do I say the debt collection process is corrupt? Do I mean that judges are taking money from the debt collectors, or that the debt collection lawyers routinely lie to the people they're suing? I guess it would be naive to believe that that sort of thing never happens, but this is definitely not what I'm saying. In general, I'm sure the system is not crooked in that way. But what I am saying is that judges systematically pay more attention to debt collection lawyers than pro se defendants, and they let them break the rules of civil procedure routinely. The rules of civil procedure exist to require parties to present cases of a certain merit. A lawyer signing a pleading guarantees to the court that using independent judgment, he or she has ascertained that the case being brought has some validity. This is not what is generally happening in debt collector cases, where the lawyer scarcely glances at a case while signing the pleadings most of the time. They usually have no idea what's going on in the case before they bring it. The rules of evidence are designed to make sure that only evidence of sufficient trustworthiness makes it into the records. And fair play intrinsic to the integrity of the judicial process requires that every party be heard, and I do mean heard as opposed to ignored. As a whole, and with notable exceptions of course, the courts ignore these rules in the debt collection context routinely, where they let in the motliest collection of evidence conceivable. And this, among other things, is why the government reports that so many debt collector judgments are awarded unfairly against people who never owed money, or to companies that never had a right to sue, or that sold that right to sue, or that never legitimately proved anything. Consider that the bad debt industry is hundreds of billions of dollars in size every year. Banks use it to recycle bad debt and maintain the flow of easy credit that lures so many people to their destruction. They use it to create securities that they then use in turn to bilk retirement funds and other unwary holders of money. Bad debt funds one of the biggest collection of immoral scoundrels that exists, that is, the debt collection industry itself. Large law firms use bad debt litigation as a way to generate enormous amounts of money for themselves, doing little more than clerical work. For them, it's the easiest kind of money around. And there are thousands of judges who spend all day twiddling their thumbs and processing debt cases without ever really having to work. And then there's the fact that all of these people have friends in the legislature. How could that set of circumstances ever lead to generally fair outcomes? According to the government and to common sense, it does not. Again, it doesn't require dishonesty on the part of anybody to rip off millions of ordinary people, just indifference to the legal factory. It's not to say that you should give up. It is to say that you must use to the best of your ability every tool that you have for defending yourself and making the judge and the other side pay attention to you. And this in turn is why we emphasize the importance of counterclaims and legal discovery so consistently. If you want to have a chance, you have to get out of the factory some way. And this in turn is why we emphasize the importance of counterclaims and legal discovery so consistently. These are the ways you force the debt collector to deal with you more fairly. And they are the ways you give the judge an opportunity to take you more seriously. When 90% of the cases like yours are steamrollered through one way or another, you have to do something different. You have to give yourself time to do it, and it does take some work. For most people and cases, if you want the judge to treat you fairly at the end, you've got to spend some time making him or her see you before the end. No matter how good you are at expressing yourself at trial, if you haven't been in front of the judge before then, your chances aren't going to be very good. Discovery is a good way to make yourself heard, to start making yourself heard. Protect what's yours and don't let the debt collectors rip you off. yourlegallegup.com